Hello guys, my name is Doke and for the fourth time I'm greeting you from the headquarters of Telekom Slovakia. Yes, that's right, I have kinda become a full-time commission artist, but more about that later. This specific project is very exciting because it includes these two beautiful walls in the future conference room. There is someone important, I gotta go.
So, in this video, I would like to give you 4 advantages and 4 disadvantages I see as a commission artist. First of all, let me give you a quick overview about me. For the past 9 years, I mainly worked as a YouTube artist, meaning I was doing all kinds of projects on a weekly basis in order to entertain my YouTube audience and gain ad revenue. As you can see, I still do YouTube videos, but a lot less than before, and most of my income comes from painting mural commissions for clients. I also do canvases, but murals are the main thing. You may not paint murals, but I guess most of these points apply to any artist who works for clients. So let's begin with the negative side. Disadvantage number 1, getting commissions. This is one of the most common questions. How do I get commissions? Well, I have actually never really wanted to become a full-time commission artist because I live in a small country and I never really saw all that much potential in painting murals for clients here. I mean, I never really advertised myself as a commission artist, so maybe I am wrong, but my experience tells me this. Murals are a very specific kind of product that people don't really need. Like any art, it's something premium. It's also pretty expensive because you need someone with a lot of experience to spend a lot of time to make a great mural. Because of these factors, most of the clients I got were companies, which makes sense because companies tend to have resources, and it also makes sense for them to invest these resources to a mural which will make their building or office more interesting. And when a potential client or sponsor comes into the building and sees the mural, they're like, okay, this is nice. This is serious. This is special. The second biggest source of mural commissions is public sector. All kinds of organizations, schools, cities. If we combine them all, there is a huge potential because they own a lot of buildings and infrastructure, which means a lot of space for murals. I have done quite a lot of projects for public sector and there is always this one problem. They don't have money. A lot of these projects I have done were done for free or for the costs only, and I could afford it to do it because I recorded a YouTube video about it and made money that way. As I said before, it's really nice to have a beautiful mural on a school, but it's more important to have a functional roof on that school. So naturally, on the list of priorities, art in general is not that important. But I have seen that cities pay a lot more attention to this, and I believe that we will see a lot more public art in the future. And the last category are individuals. People who want the mural on their fence, building, in their living room, but from my experience, this is pretty rare. On the other hand, if you paint mainly canvases, I guess this will be the main source of your commissions. So, to sum up this point, I'm pretty skeptical about potential amount of mural commissions, especially in a bad economic situation, but I may be wrong. I see that murals are getting more popular, so who knows? The second negative point about commissions artists always bitch about are the designs. If you work for a client, usually you need to listen to them and fulfill their expectations. Sometimes you can do whatever you want, but that's pretty rare. Usually, you are told what you should paint, or actually maybe even more often, you are told what idea you need to illustrate or express, and it's up to you to figure it out how. And this is the tricky part, because many times clients don't really know what they want, but you need to fulfill their expectations. Also, when you work for companies, the design goes to multiple people. Some of them prefer abstraction, others like realism, so the designing process can be truly tricky. You might think that this process pushes me to painting designs that I don't like, but that's not really true. Actually, many times the feedback from the clients pushes me to get the best out of me. My problem with designs is that I constantly paint something different. I make a doodlish character for a coffee house, and 2 weeks later I am painting an abstract piece for a huge mobile company. And if you look at the best artists on the internet, they always stick to 1, maximum 2 art styles. Plus they usually stick to a theme or a topic. They paint woman portraits or cars or landscapes, and their feed is always very cohesive. And I can't really say that about mine. For sure, I am aware that crafting of this artistic branding takes time, and when you have it, there is a big chance that people will hire you for that exact style, your style. But also, I believe that every commission should be created for the specific place, specific company, department, and to accomplish that, you need to change the style, the color scheme, the topic. If I only painted portraits, I probably wouldn't have all that much success over here in telecom. For sure, if you have a ton of inquiries, you can't do them all, you only pick the ones that fit you the best, but this circles us back to the point number 1, and that's getting enough inquiries. So I guess the answer here is to listen to clients, adjust your designs, and at the same time try to develop your own visual identity. It's more challenging than just painting whatever you want all the time, and maybe it's not the best way to crush it on Instagram, but don't worry, we will talk about the advantages as well. Disadvantage number 3, time. As I said, I used to be a very active YouTuber, and I used to complain that I could make a lot more artworks if only I didn't need to bother with script writing and recording videos that will catch an eye of you, my audience. Well, that's true, but with commissions, it's a lot worse. You need to discuss the idea, check the spot where you're gonna paint, prepare a design, adjust the design again, and maybe once again. Prepare everything, paint it, film it, edit it, release it. The last 3 steps are optional, but if you want to have a good marketing, you gotta do it. Simply, commissions take a lot of time, and painting itself is usually just half of the time I need to spend on a commission. For sure, some commissions are worse than the others, but in general, it takes more time in comparison with painting your own work, because you discuss your own work only with yourself. And you usually paint it in the studio at the same environment, so you don't need to peg all the time, etc, etc. And that brings me to my last disadvantage, which is scalability. This is a very business entrepreneurish point, but I find it pretty valid, and I think it's one of the main reasons why artists tend to sell prints and other products, or they start an art school, or even a YouTube channel. It's because these things are scalable. The difference between selling 10 prints and 100 prints is not very big, but the difference between making 2 commissions and 4 commissions a month is huge. That's why painting commission murals is not scalable. And from business perspective, this is not good. Successful YouTube video or an e-shop will make you money even if you are on a vacation, but commissions, they won't paint themselves. You can hire someone who will help you to paint them to speed up the process, but there are still limits, and these limits are pretty low. So, these are the 4 main disadvantages I see since I have become a full-time commission artist. For sure there is a bit more. For example, there is a huge difference between painting a piece for a YouTube video and painting a piece for someone who actually pays you. You need to be a lot more careful. But anyways, let's take a look at the flip side, the positive side. Advantage number 1, the artwork remains. This may sound like a silly reason for people who don't really paint on legal walls, legal graffiti walls, but this is an important point for me. 95% of all my artworks I have ever painted are gone. Most of them overpainted. With commissions, the artworks stay and people can see them for years. Point number 2, you know the outcome. In comparison with YouTube videos or prints/merch drops, commissions are pretty safe. You know what you need to do and you know exactly how much you are getting for it. It never ever happened to me that someone wouldn't pay me, and if there is a problem or any kind of issue, you can always simply fix it. That's very different from a YouTube video. You never really know what will work and what will turn into a total disaster. Also with selling products. You sell out one batch in 3 days, so you want to do it again, and then you have 50 hoodies in your storage because suddenly it didn't work as before. The only problem similar to this with commissions is that many times you underestimate the time you need for a commission, but still, you know the outcome. Advantage number 3, it's personal. My favorite thing about painting commissions is that I meet new people and I am not locked in my studio 24/7. I see all kinds of different spaces, companies, I talk to everyone from CEOs to interns. I also travel, which is great from time to time. You know, being an artist can be a pretty lonely job, and projects like this help a lot. And the last point, the designs. Again, probably a lot of artists wouldn't agree on this point with me, but the fact that you need to fulfill someone's expectations can be actually pretty freeing. Sometimes it can be hard to figure out what you want to paint, what will catch an eye of an audience on Instagram, what kind of crazy thing you should paint in order to have a great YouTube video, what kind of art should define you as an artist. Sometimes it simply feels good when people tell you paint this, like paint an octopus, who's also a barista at the same time. This feels good sometimes, but I do need to admit that I would love to develop 2 max 3 styles that I would paint and people would hire me for them. And so guys, before I ask you for your opinion about these points, I would like to think loudly about this whole commission thing. Although I am enjoying painting so many commissions at the moment, I have never really planned this, and if I think about my ultimate goal, I don't want to paint only commissions. I think there should be a balance between painting for people and painting for yourself, and I hope that in the future I will be able to find this balance. And with that said, guys, I hope that this video was at least a little bit helpful and entertaining. Let me know what you think about my points in the comments below, and especially let me know what you think about this commission that I just finished. I need to say that I really like it, and I should also mention that this castle and tower that I have painted, these are typical buildings for this city, Bratislava. So you know what is going on. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.